I'm Tom Murphy. I'm the CTL for Computer Science and IT and the class teacher for Year 11 Computer Science, so I am your student's teacher this year. The board we're doing is AQA. The syllabus is new next year, so you need to make sure that when you do select the specification, you're choosing the current specification and not the new specification. Okay. The exam is the exam is entirely assessed by written papers. There's no practical papers, and although there's a practical component, it is not assessed. Each paper is 1 hour and 30 minutes long and contributes 50% to the qualification, with each paper being worth 80 marks. Paper 1 is called Computational Thinking and Problem Solving. This is where the elements of the syllabus that require calculations, algorithmic thinking and programming techniques are tested. It covers sections 1 to 4 of the subject content. This paper is not language specific, so algorithm questions and coding questions will be given in pseudocode. There is a guide for this on the board's website, and students have been given a copy electronically. Students are required to answer coding questions in any form of pseudocode, so they don't actually have to use the board's form to answer the questions, though obviously they do have to read it. They could, for instance, answer the questions in Python or another language, and that would be acceptable. The paper will require algorithms and programming techniques all the way through, and also those elements of data representation and computer systems that require calculations. So for instance, they might test binary arithmetic, calculation of file sizes, processing speed, or the efficiency and effectiveness of compression algorithms. All of those would be appropriate because they are numerically based. Paper 2 is imaginatively called the written paper. It includes multiple choice and long answer questions and tests sections 3 to 7 of the specification. This means that data representation and computer systems will be assessed on both papers, so the overall content looks like this. The subject content, you will notice, is in 9 areas. Sections 8 and 9 are not assessed, and we'll talk more about those in a second. Sections 1, 2, 3 and 4 are assessed on paper 1. Sections 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 are assessed on paper 2, so sections 3 and 4 are assessed on both papers. Sections 8 and 9 are not assessed at all, but there is a requirement that students cover them, and to test this, the board have set a programming task. The students should spend 20 hours on this, and in previous years this has had to be done in lesson time. This year that requirement has been dropped, so students can and should do this at home. The board has set a task require planning airline routes. The students are required to write a computer program that models the costs of the different routes for different types of planes, and fulfill the requirements of reporting this in a way that the board have asked. They need to produce a written report on this. However, the written report is not submitted to the board. The written report does not actually get assessed at all, and it does not contribute to the final mark. However, they do have to submit to a board a statement to say that they have spent 20 hours on it, and they do have to submit to the board something that says that they've had the opportunity to do it, and that the work is their own. Beyond that, it is not checked at all. There is considerable support with this. If you look on the system, the school system, there is a walkthrough of a coding project which is about bus routes rather than airplane routes, and following this through with the appropriate changes should make the task relatively easy. Again, let me stress that this is not assessed in any way, and it's a government requirement, so it applies to all GCSE boards, not just AQA. There is also considerable revision and support available on the school website. There are a list of videos from Craig and Dave linked directly to what they're studying each week, and if they follow those, they will cover things for both papers each week, so both papers are being covered at the same time. As well as this, every student has been given a revision book They should bring this to lessons with them so that they can annotate it, etc. And that should effectively become a proper exercise book with all of their notes in. A matching workbook will be bought for each student when the course is completed, which will certainly be before Christmas. And again, they should be bringing that to each lesson with them. After Christmas, students will receive a pack of topic-based exam questions and exam exercises to be done at home. These can be self-marked, but there will be a timeline for doing them. There will also be regular algorithmic practice questions in lessons using pseudocode, because it takes students quite a long time to get their head around that. So the likelihood is that at least one lesson every week will start with some algorithmic practice. If you need any further information, please feel free to contact me.